What's up, guys? It's Rob, and yeah, doing another one of these fucking little sit-down videos, similar to the stories from the shop video, but let me turn this fucking light on. It'll make the lighting much better. There we go. That is 10 times better. But what we're going to be talking about today is if you guys want to become a car audio installer, I'm going to tell you guys what it's like working in a shop 6 days a week. I actually had a half day today. It was wonderful. Shop was fucking dead, so I was like, yeah, I mean, I ain't doing nothing here. Can I go home? And he was like, yeah, cool. I'm still wearing my shit from work. So I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna tell you guys my opinions of working in a shop now that I've been formally working like in an actual shop for about 5 months now. Right after I started this channel, actually, when I started the channel, I had no intentions of working in a shop, and then I just got the urge. I was like, I do this shit almost every day at home. Let me try to make it into a fucking career, and I did, and it was very challenging, but, I mean, it's still challenging because I don't know absolutely everything. I'm really good with the audio shit, as you guys could see here on the channel, but with some of the other stuff when it comes to like HID lights, LED lights, the interior LEDs I know how to do really well, but with the headlights, the fog lights, and some of the other services that we offer, like remote starts and alarm systems, I'm still learning those. So I don't want you guys thinking I'm an absolute expert on everything, because I'm not. Nobody's an absolute expert on anything. We got guys, doing this for 25 years that I've shown them something about audio they've never fucking even known of, so nobody's an expert on everything. I just want to get that out there first. No matter what shop you guys work on, you guys are going to have to ask each other questions. It's part of the industry because there's so many different products out there, whether it be like with the audio stuff, and most shops that you go to, as well as ours, we don't really carry anything competition. The best like woofer that we carry is the Alpine Type R12. So you're going to get a lot of smaller installs like that, as well as a lot of just stock replacement speakers. Every now and then I'll make some tweeter pods. Or I'll just cut tweeters into a door and flush mount them. That's something I do somewhat regularly. We got this guy right now who who wants custom doors, but he don't want to pay the price for custom doors. And I'm really hoping we can convince him to pay it, because I would love to do another set of doors, but at work. I would love to do that. Something I could really put my work into somebody else's vehicle. I would love that. But it's also stressful. It's extremely stressful when you're busy working in a shop. I really wish I would have put some notes down on what order to talk about this shit in, but I didn't do that. I got home, I sat down, wanted to record this video because I've been thinking about this a lot. And last Friday and Saturday, it's Wednesday right now as I'm recording this, but last Friday and Saturday were two extremely stressful days in the shop. We had a lot of customers waiting. We had a lot of work that had to get done, and it's only me and one other guy in the shop most of the day. We have two other guys that do work at dealerships, but they don't get back to the shop until, maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. We close at 6. So it's just me and one other guy at the shop doing installs all day long, and, we gotta bust our ass all day long. And, there's some days we don't get a break. There was other days like today where it was 1 o'clock and I haven't done anything yet. It's something that's a part of the job. That's something that happens. But you have to be able to deal with being able to work under pressure. When you're at home doing your own install, I've had my fucking truck taken apart for 3 days waiting for a part because I bought the wrong one. You can't do that with a customer's car. No, you got to make sure that shit's perfect first time and try to get them out the door onto the next car and make sure that you do that install perfect, so you don't have somebody coming back later that day or a week later needing a repair done on their install that you just did, because that's going to upset the customer. That's going to piss you off because now you got to stop what you were doing, go back, do something you already did, and it's going to piss your boss off too because now he has to pay you to do something twice. So it's going to happen. People are going to make mistakes, whether it be something as putting a fuse in a bad spot, cutting a wire a little bit short, or something grounds out 10 years later from an install. We've seen that, or remote starts that were installed like 10 years ago just stop working. And we gotta fix that, repair it, do whatever we can. Even sometimes we have to sell them a new product. And that's really just a part of the industry. No matter what shop you're at, that's gonna happen. I can guarantee you. Everybody I know that works at either our store or other stores in the area, it's gonna happen. And you're going to have to learn a lot too, because whether you go into this knowing absolutely everything there is to do with audio, you know, I think I definitely am well informed on audio. Yeah, I don't know the alarm systems very well. I can do them. I can do remote starts, but it's going to take me a while. I'm not going to be able to bang them out like I can a radio, putting in speakers or installing an amp. I can't do it that quickly because I don't have the amount of practice. There's a few cars like Jeep Wranglers I can do the remote starts in real easy because all the wires are in one area. I can get those done in an hour, but there's other people at the shop that I'm not even exaggerate. That's a 15-minute car for them. Yeah, for me it's an hour. And it just comes down to practice and learning how to do that. And you know, you really have to pay attention to what the other people in the shop are doing. When it comes to the things that you don't know. Like earlier today, I had no audio to do all day long, and the other installer, you know, he had a remote start to do. So I stood over his shoulder. He was explaining to me how to do it. Instead, you know, I could have just sat back, you know, sat in a chair, put my feet up, watched YouTube videos or messed around on my phone. I wasn't doing that. I was sitting there trying to learn. And of course, you know, that also avoids my boss getting mad at me for just sitting there. Depending on, you know, who your boss is. I know some of the owners are really lenient. Mine is, depending on the day. So I always try to keep busy, but I also always try to learn. You know, there are times where, like, you know, the radios that we sell, I know absolutely everything on how to do on almost every single radio we sell. And that's because, you know, when we had downtime, I'd sit there and I'd read the manual. I'd look things up about them. So whenever a customer comes in with a question for a radio or any radio is installed, I'm the one that shows the customer how it works and how to use every function of it, because I, you know, took the extra time that nobody else has to be able to learn them. And it makes you more valuable as an installer. And also, if you want to go to a different shop, you know, you can show up to an interview, or you can call somebody and be like, look, I know how to do all of this. This is what I know about this product and how to do this. You know, give me a shot. You know, that puts you in a position to be able to say that to somebody else. And yeah, it's a great industry to be in, but it's also a bad one because the industry is dying down a lot, especially with the higher end audio installs. Now we mostly just get, you know, every now and then we'll do custom boxes. We're trying to get this guy to do the custom doors. Similar to mine, he wants an 8 in each door. I don't know why he doesn't want tweeters. I don't know why. I was trying to convince him of it, telling him that it would only, because it really wouldn't be that much extra work for me to throw a tweeter in the door too. I have to fiberglass the whole thing anyway. And you know, we're trying to get a lot of those higher end installs, but they're just not out there the way that they used to be. And you're really going to have to deal with that with a lot of shit just being, you know, stock replacements. Not a lot of people want to customize their cars the way that they used to, with now all of the features that are coming in cars. And that generation of people is dying out. A lot of people that are my age, you know, in their 20s, you either have the people that love customizing their cars, you know, the people that I hang out with, the people that I know. And then you also have a lot of people that are like, it works, whatever, fuck it. You know, and of course you've always had that demographic difference, but it's more shifting to the it works area as opposed to let's make this shit fucking cool. Of course, you know, people aren't making generally as much money now, so they don't have as much to spend on their cars. I understand that, and it really sucks because that puts us in a bad spot. And you know, right now we're actually having trouble finding another installer. You know, because the industry's I don't want to say it's dying, but it's definitely changing. You know, somebody like me, I understand that, you know, how things are going to go, but our you know, a lot of the people that are in the industry but have been doing this for 30 years, they want to stay doing things the way that they've been doing it the past 30 years, and you gotta change it up. One tip for anybody out there, if you guys want to open up your own shop, fucking you have to do online too. If you want to have an in-store, you have to have online also because that's where the industry's going, is online. A lot of people are learning how to do this shit at home. That's how I learned. I learned by buying all of my shit online. You know, with some of my first installs I ever did in my Focus, yeah, the only thing I picked up from stores were like wire, and I picked up a cap once, just because I needed something quick. I couldn't wait for the shipping time, so I picked that up real quick just to throw it in. You know, you're not getting very many people coming into stores to buy things over the counter. If they come into your store, they probably want you to install it all. So you guys got to keep that in mind, because if they know how to install it, they know the good products from the bad products. And then really, I mean, the main thing is you have to learn a lot. Yeah, that's really the main thing that I want to drive home. No matter how much you think you know, unless you've been doing this your whole life, you don't know half of what you need to know. No matter how much you think you know, it's never going to be enough. There's always going to be something that comes in that just confuses you. Like Saturday night, like I was talking about, our shop closes at 6. We're usually out of there about 6:15. We didn't, start closing until 7:30 because I was doing a Honda Accord 2017, and I was putting 4 speakers in and a 4-channel amp. We couldn't figure it out. Every time the driver's door was shut, it would play like 40 hertz bass throughout the vehicle, and we had no idea why. Throughout of every speaker, it would just cut everything. There was no factory amp in the car or anything like that, but we cut the factory amp turn-on wire, which was going nowhere because there was no amp, and it stopped happening. With a lot of the newer cars, you're going to have shit like that happening. A similar thing happened on a 2016 Civic I did a couple of days ago, and yet I had to rewire the dome lights so the radio would stop cutting, so the amp would stop cutting off every time the dome lights came on. I have no idea why that was ever put in with something else. That's not something that should be affecting a radio, but it was. And it's like I was saying, it's something that you have to learn with the new cars. We have installers that have been doing this 30 years, and they're getting surprised by shit all of the time because things are changing so much with these vehicles. So you have to be open to learn, and you have to want to learn how these newer cars work, as well as the different way to do things. Because when people started first doing remote starts regularly, there were no bypasses. A lot of the wire colors were very similar between the vehicle makes. Now they're all different. Now you have data wires, you have bypasses, and all of these extra things you have to add to do a simple remote start that back then you didn't have to do. Thankfully, on most cars you don't have to bury a key anymore. That was a pain in the ass when they first started coming out with the digital keys. Most of them you don't have to do that anymore. But there's always going to be things changing. With the audio, it stays kind of the same, but it's with a lot of the other features in the car, or when you're doing stock replacements, which is what most cars are going to be. So I don't want anybody getting into this thinking that they're going to only be doing custom audio installs. Because you're going to be doing much more than that. Every once in a while, you'll get the custom jobs. And when you get those jobs, you'll love it. You'll have a lot of fun with it. But you also have to enjoy doing the more regular shit and the more tedious stuff. Which personally I do. I love being around cars. I love working on them. Regardless of what I'm doing. It's something that I really enjoy. But if you're somebody that only enjoys doing the audio side of things and the high-end installs, it's going to be rough for you out there. There's a few shops down south that focus in that, but it's not like every shop you pass. That it's very far and few between that's going to be doing that. And I guess that's really it, guys. I just wanted to tell you guys kind of what it was like working in a shop and some of the things that you could be expecting. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I just really wanted to drive some of these points home, like how you have to always be learning something. So leave a like and a comment if you guys found this informative. If you guys want to work in a shop and you guys are kind of scared or you have questions, definitely be sure to ask me in the comments. I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. And as always, guys, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that cool shit you guys do for me here on YouTube. This is Rob, and I'm out. Peace, guys. I hope you enjoy.
I got my own weed, sucker, so I ain't gotta hit yours. I'm talking straight endo. Cali weed blowing like a Rastaman. Pussy straight from a